Hey, 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 team. Hey, team. Hey, team. Hey, so come on in and let's talk. Let's talk. Hey, I am here today to help you. This is 6 weeks to fit challenges, fat loss principles. I'm here to help you because you've been given some new challenges. And if you're like me and I were like you, I will be like, this lady has really lost her mind. What? No fruit except berries and blackberries and blueberries and raspberries. What is going on here? So come on in. We have about 2 weeks to go. And so on yesterday, the purpose of this video is to help you understand if you had your rental analysis and you also got your measurements. I sent you feedback. So I'm going to talk about today self love, suffering, meal plans, fat loss, and principles, right? All in 30 minutes. So I want to start off with a bit of a short story. You know, I'm a great storyteller. So I'm going to start off with a bit of a story. I'm moving my tripod. A bit of a story. When I first started training and I was training between two locations, I was really working out. And I really believe that the more you suffered, the more you just sucked in the suck of everything, the more you were going to change and transform your body. That was my mindset and that was my belief system. And so I was training between two locations really hard. And I did this for 2 years, from 2017 to 2019. And so COVID hit. And I said, you know what? I looked at myself one day and I said, I've been training really hard. I work out twice a day, um, 4 or 5 days per week. I'm training 7 days per week, but I'm not developing the muscles. What is going on? Maybe I'm not suffering enough. And I'm here to say I'm always heavy on the self love, y'all. And nobody deserves to suffer. So if you're feeling like you're suffering, you don't deserve to suffer. And you don't have to suffer in order to lose weight, to get shredded. None of those things. You don't have to do that. And so I went on and I decided to actually go in and look at and research ways to lose weight and drop body fat and develop muscles. And the way I did that was changing my diet. So I'm here also to help you understand the number one mistake that I see gym goers do when they first decide to come into a fitness program. When you first decide to say, I want to lose weight, but I want to tone up and I want to see all those muscles. And some people even say, I want to look just like you. And I'm like, but I've been working out for a long time, a very long time. And I didn't even look like me the very first time I started to work out. And anytime you start to work out and choose to work out and you don't really have a why, or you may have a why and you say, oh goodness, I didn't get the protein just right. I didn't meet 30 grams of protein per meal. There's something going to be wrong with me. I'm not perfect. There's something else behind that. It's not going to be perfect. Your carbohydrates won't be perfect. None of it will be perfect. And anytime you look for perfection, you're trying to move away from something else. Maybe your well-intended parents, like my well-intended parents did, anytime you didn't get it quite right, you were punished for it. And so you feel guilty and you want to give up on you and you just don't feel good about you. And you say, well, why even try? And it's getting harder and harder and harder. Oh my God, with this fruit thing, it's hard. And I really like fruit, and I have fruit in my oatmeal, and I have fruit in the afternoons, and fruit is my snack in the morning. And what's going on is we're really choosing protein as an afterthought. And so that is the reason for this challenge, so that you can focus more on your protein, starting off your day with protein, lighting the fire in your body with protein. Um, and still having some fruit along with it. And the truth of the matter is, you don't deserve to suffer. So if you have your berries and you decide to have an apple, you're not a failure. Okay, you're not. You will still have some results. You will. This journey is trial and error. And let me tell you what happened. So, when I was training two locations, I had a hypothesis in my mind. I had decided that since I was training really, really, really hard, it didn't matter. I was still tracking my food. I was logging my food um every single day. I would log my lunch, I would log my breakfast, I was meal prepping, I was doing all of that. Now, here's what I wasn't doing. On my way home, I would have like these cans of nuts. I would stop by the grocery store and I would get a pound of grapes, or I would have a pound of grapes on my way home, or cherries, and then I was eating all this watermelon, and then I was eating all these wraps, and I was like, oh my, but my body is not changing. And in my mind, I was saying I was working out so hard. I mean, to the point where, have you ever worked out so hard where you leave your soul on the floor? I mean, you worked out so hard. And so the mistake that people make, they have this picture in their minds that they are working out really, really hard. See, it's really easy to just get in your car, go to the gym, get in the car, or come over to Kim's studio, work out for 1 hour. That's it. It's really easy to do that because there's no thought. When you get here, everything is laid out. You don't even have to think about it. When you go to the gym, you don't have to think about it. You can get on the treadmill, you can get on any machines. And see, what happens is the number one mistake that gym goers make, they don't focus on the thing that could actually give them the best result, and that is their nutrition. Why? Because when you focus on your nutrition, you have to add, you have to subtract, you got to go to the grocery store, you got to cook, you have all these moving components. It is a challenge to do that. And so I understand the reason people don't do it. They'd rather just choose the working out part and tell themselves, like I was telling myself, man, you should be changed by now. You are working out so hard. You are leaving your soul on the floor. You are working out twice a day. You're getting up and you're going to the studio at 5 a.m. in the morning and you're training. And then you're training at another location at 6 p.m. And you are training, Kim, 2 hours per day. And you don't see any definition in your body. It's because Kim was choosing to eat what Kim wanted to eat in between times. And Kim was telling herself that I am suffering, from all of this working out. So I deserve some form of happiness. I deserve all these grapes and I deserve all of this fruit because I was suffering so bad, so bad. And so when you let go of the guilt and you let go of the suffering, you begin to embrace self-love for you, for who you are. Um, and so I encourage you, no, it won't be perfect. If you are looking for perfection, if you're looking for this to bring you things in your life, it's a hypothesis in your head. Let me give you an example of what I mean. I trained with a coach. Her name was Renee Pickett. She taught me Strong by Zumba. She's a licensed Strong by Zumba instructor. I became a licensed Strong by Zumba instructor. And the way people marveled her and looked at her and the way she would bring the energy and fire on stage, it was amazing. She was the most incredible person I've ever met. And I actually wanted to embody her spirit. She was so amazing. And so I wanted this for all of the wrong reasons. And anytime I felt like I didn't quite get it right, or I didn't quite eat all my protein, or I didn't quite, or ate too many carbs, or I went over in my calculator, I felt like a failure anytime I didn't do that. And I felt like I was moving away from how people would see me, like they saw Renee. So I was doing it for all of the wrong reasons, all of the wrong reasons, all of the wrong reasons. And so I encourage you to love yourself in this transformation. When anytime you take on a transformation, whether it's fitness in life, career, just a new aspect, outlook on life, it's going to bring up things on the inside of you. And the journey won't be perfect. So no human being needs to choose suffering. You just don't need to choose suffering. There will be some discomfort anytime you choose to change. There is some discomfort. There is, yes. So Kim had to realize in 2020 during COVID that in order to change um my body at that particular time, in order to take those 40 pounds off, I aimed for 30, I lost 40, but I also wanted to develop muscles. I had to follow a plan, a routine, regimented plan over a period of time. Let's talk about meal plans and fat loss. There are principles to fat loss, right? Just like there are principles to weight loss, just like there are principles to getting healthy, right? They're all different. People say, on this list of foods, there's no sweet potato, nothing white, nothing that looks like it's going to be white or could turn white. That is a fat loss principle. It's not a principle to maintain as a lifestyle. So you grab this principle only if you want to lose body fat. It is not a lifestyle principle, because to live the rest of your life, to say, that's why people choose keto. A lady, I met her yesterday. She did keto off and on, and she called it dirty keto because she wanted to choose the foods that were not healthy, right? And so all of the principles are different and they are not maintainable. And we dieted for so long. If you're a woman, you've dieted, you've been on a diet for so long until when you don't hit things quite right, you beat yourself up. Because remember, whenever you feel suffering, you want punishment to go along with it. Because as children, our parents punished us. They were well intended, but they punished us if we didn't get it right. They punished us and they talked to us very, very badly. They did, in order to shame us into doing what we needed to do. Now, they were well intended. It's just that when you become an adult, you have to learn how to overcome all of that in order to get what you need in this present adult mature life. And not beat yourself up, because it's not perfect. Nobody is perfect, right? And so meal plans and fat loss. And so some of you, I noticed on yesterday when I was going through your analysis, some of you, and I've heard from a lot of you, I want to see muscles. I want to see more toned muscles. And so the way that you see your muscles is you drop body fat. We all have muscles. You just want to reveal some of your hard work. And so in order to do that, you take the top layer off a little bit. You take the fatty layer that's over the muscle off so that you can see it. And in order to do that, principles come along with it. Now, you have this picture in your mind, like Kim had a picture in her mind, right? When she took those pictures, and God knows I did not want to take those pictures in February of 2020, because to me, I felt like I had let myself down over the last 2 years of working out, and I just didn't see the definition in my body. I wanted to be leaner. I didn't give myself any credit for all of the hard work that I had done, for all of the people that I had coached along the way, for holding it together, for opening it up a business and going to work and having a career. You have to really look inside of yourself to see and love yourself enough from January up until now, how you have held it together through death, some of you divorce, some of you relationships, career changes. That is what self-love and transformation is all about. It's not just about this. This comes along with it, yeah, it does. But what it's taught me is you don't really have to just suffer in order to get what you need. You just have to embrace who you are, where you are at this moment in time. Will there be some discomfort? There will. So, looking at your meal plan and looking at this fat loss plan, on this fat loss plan, I want you to focus on what you can eat, right? What you can eat. Oftentimes, we go to the negative of what we can't eat. Oh my God, I can't eat this. I can't eat that. I can't eat this. I can't eat that. And it causes so much stress and anxiety, right? It just does. Because why? You're like Kim. You're trying to move into a space of perfection because you want people to look at you like you're perfect, and you want to get something from that. You want to be liked and loved. But let me tell you something. The only person that can love you like you love you is you. That's the only person that can do that, right? Yes. And your higher power that can do that. Nobody else can validate you except you. That's it. That is it. So I gave some recommendations on yesterday. I'm not with you 24/7. So I cannot go around to see what you're eating, what you're drinking, how much you're eating, how much you're drinking. And if you're not weighing your food, if you're not real specific, and most of us are not, okay, just be honest. Let me give you an example. My coach, I'm working with a coach right now. It is muscadine season, right? I just gave up watermelon season because watermelon season is gone. I said to her, can I have muscadines? I'm not going on stage right now. I'm not even going on stage until next year. This is all trial and error to see how my body responds to the different things that she gives to me. She said, Kim, I cannot tell you what to do. And she can't. I can't tell you what to do. She's not a nutritionist. I can't tell you either. I can only give you advice, and these are only opinions and recommendations. You don't know how your body is going to respond, right? You don't. You can do everything perfectly and still look at yourself and judge yourself and say, "Ah, I didn't get what I wanted. Oh my God, it didn't work." And so she told me, she said, if you want muscadines, you can eat muscadines. But if you want optimal results, this is what I recommend. I've had years of experience, and I have too. When I want to learn something, I go to the person that's already done it. And this is the mistake number two that I see people make. Mistake number two is you can hear people say different things and people just don't believe you. They just don't. They just don't have enough belief to do it, right? For long periods of time. And so even though this lady, she's a bodybuilder, she is great. She is phenomenal. I can see her changes, right? I still wanted to eat muscadines. Why? Because muscadines brings me pleasure. I love them. They're sweet. I can eat a pound per day, sometimes 2 pounds per day. I haven't had any now in 5 weeks. Okay, none. And it's merely a hypothesis. And so when we start off and we purchase a fitness program, and what people will do, they will do or eat some of the foods, but not all of the foods. They will do some of the exercises, but not all of the exercises. My coach told me you need 2 hours of cardio per day. I haven't done 2 hours of cardio per day. So at the end of this program, and I have 2 weeks to go, I cannot go back to her and say, this program didn't work. I can't say that because I didn't do 2 hours of cardio per day. I didn't, right? We like to say we're working harder than really what we are, and we're not, right? Will I have some results? Yes, I can see them now. Will I be at the space to go on stage? No, I won't. No. Will I give up and stop trying? No, I won't. I won't. I will not. I won't, because this is for me, transformation is more than about looking buff. It feels good in the moment. But after that moment leaves and after that person says that, it's gone. It's fleeting. Okay. You don't know how you're going to feel when you get muscles. You don't. It's a hypothesis in your mind. You just trying it on to see how it would feel. So I reached out to a lot of you yesterday and said, hey, take off 7 pounds and this will reveal more of your muscle. Do this, do that. Add more protein to your diet. Eat more greens. I reached out to you and said, this is where you were in January, and this is where you are now. Take that into consideration. Go back, see what you need to tweak, right? See what you need to tweak. If you don't need to tweak anything, right? You may say, Kim, I feel good. I feel healthy where I am. That is perfectly fine with Kim. There's no judgment from me ever. Ever, because you know your body more than anybody. All right, you do. You know what helps you to feel good. Some people will lose 5 pounds, and that's a principle as well. Weight loss, when you eat for weight loss, you just simply decrease your calories. When you change and transform your body, you focus on your macronutrients, proteins, fats, and carbs, and they're not all created equal. And so that is the reason for fat loss principles. And as a woman over 40 and 50, like myself, we have become even more insulin resistant. So we have to back away from a lot of the bread, the cheese, the dairy, the sweet coffee creamers, pasta. And somebody said, well, what about lentil pasta? And what about chickpea pasta? All of those are heavy starches. See, when you focus on your macronutrients, a chickpea is great. I love chickpeas. Okay. I love them. I do. But a chickpea for me as a vegan is more of a carb and a fat than it is a protein, right? A lentil is more of a protein and not a carb. It breaks down better. So that is the reason the fat loss principles are different. So people have to realize, what are you going for in the moment? And you have to go for it more than 4 weeks, more than 12 weeks, more than a year. It actually takes about 18 months, okay? A year and a half to change your body. And here's what happens when people do it really, really quickly. They do it really quick and they get to a point and they suffer so much until they're so ready for it to be over with, like I was about 13 years ago. And I regained all of that weight back, plus 20 pounds. I gained 100 pounds, but I lost 80. And I put on 20 extra pounds because I was like ravenous. I just wanted to eat, because there was so much suffering. There was so much suffering. And so the fat loss principles you're going to see, it's up in this group, and I put a video up, right, of the different foods that you can have if you choose to see more muscle tone. If you choose to see more muscle tone, right, that means that you're going to be going for 30 grams of lean protein, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you're going to be going to the grocery store, and you're going to have to plan it out, and you're going to have to make time in order to get the best optimal results that you want to see. That is how it works. So, Kim, what if I don't do all of that? You will still get results. You will. Here's the thing. You have to be honest with yourself to say, well, I did some of the food. I ate some of it some of the time. I did some of the workouts. I really worked out. Yeah, I got on the elliptical like I did, right? That was my 30 minutes of cardio. I got on the elliptical. I wasn't on the treadmill. I got on the elliptical. So I didn't do steady state on the treadmill. I got on an elliptical. So I didn't do all of the workouts like, she has requested me to do for the length of time that I follow the guide to the T. No, I did not. But did I give it the very best I could? I have. I have. I really have. And I'm good with that. When I look in the mirror and see, when I feel myself, I can feel my body changing. I really can. I can feel it changing. I have made. So I am confident in what she has given me. I have trusted what she has given me. But us as human beings, and we just know best for us and our body. This is my body. This is my life. And I know that no matter what Kim says, it's going to just work out. I'm going to do all these workouts. I'm just going to keep working out and keep working out, keep working out. And I'm just going to kind of do my own thing. I might get in 30 grams of protein over here, but I won't get it in at lunchtime. Or I'm going to eat this deli meat over here. And, that has protein in it. But even though it has saturated fat, it's still going to work out the way. But I'm still eating lean protein, and I don't know why it's not working, but I'm really working really, really hard, and I'm doing all these workouts. Yes, you are. Fat loss has principles. Weight loss has principles, and lifestyle health plans have principles. People say they want to be healthy, and it's like saying, I want world peace. Where do we begin? Do we begin with the Hamas over in Israel? Do we begin in Africa? Do we begin in San Francisco with all the homeless people? Where do we begin with getting healthy, right? What does that even mean? I just want to be healthy. Oftentimes people say that when they don't really want to change. They don't. They just want to keep doing the same thing over and over again and telling themselves, I just want to be healthy. It just sounds good. I just like the feel of it. Like Kim did when she was working out 2 hours a day, 7 days a week, and not seeing any changes. Yeah, I lost weight and I maintained that weight. I maintained 165 pounds, but I didn't look like what I really wanted to look like. I didn't have the muscle tone. I didn't. I had to really get serious about and real about what I wanted and why I wanted it, right? Because I could wake up and say, now I really want those muscadines, and why do I want a flat stomach? I really don't want a flat stomach. I am really out to eat, and this food really looks good. And why did I say that I want that? But this is not gonna hurt. I'm gonna just eat this anyway, and see, I'm gonna work that off tomorrow. And like Kim did, I'm gonna eat these nuts, and then I'll work it off in the morning. And I'm working out 2 hours a day, and I'm walking all these miles, and I don't see any changes. When I take my clothes off, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. That's the same thing I did. And so the biggest mistake that I see people make, right? It's not the heavy lifting, it's not the light lifting, it's not the cardio. It is not diving first into your foods, not sitting down, reading, going into that meal plan, that fitness plan that I've given you back in September. Yeah, it's that. Like I was, right? Like I'm with my coach. It's that. I really want those muscadines. Yeah. Did I eat them? No, I didn't eat them. Because over the years and over time and over my experience, it has taught me to trust a little bit more. The professional, right? This lady is a professional. She has reached the point where I want to be. So I'm going to trust what she says. Everything may not be perfect, right? And it won't. It hasn't been perfect. It hasn't been. It hasn't been perfect. She didn't tell me to run 5 miles on a Sunday. I'm doing 5 miles on a Sunday. She didn't say to do that. I'm doing that. So there are some things that you've chosen to do along the way that coach just didn't say. All right? Just didn't say. So berries, blackberries, blueberries, and raspberries. You can have up to 12 ounces per day if that's what you're going for. Fat loss. Next week, it's going to get a little bit more challenging. Next week is going to be real challenging because the challenge is nothing white, nothing that looks white or could become white. That is no brown rice. That is no white rice. That is no sweet potatoes. That is no wraps. That is what else? That is white. Almond milk is white. Yeah, nothing that is white. Very limited oils. Okay, very limited oils because oil, our muscles, because we're insulin resistant already and we don't know it. I'm not a medical doctor. This is only my opinion. Be sure that you check with your doctor because those doctors have gone to medical school. Kim has not. This is Kim's research. So why don't we eat deli meat? This is really quick because it's been 30 minutes. How does being insulin resistant, how does being diabetic and fat work together? I always wondered that. Why does eating fried chicken or fatty foods work against your body when you are diabetic? Well, here's the thing. Because a person is insulin resistant or a person is diabetic, when you eat fried chicken, when you eat a big steak, or when you eat any fatty foods, gravies, deli meats, which are high sausage, which is high in saturated fat, it goes down into the small intestines. The pancreas says, hey, 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 something's in the bloodstream. Let me pump out some glucose, pump out some insulin, not glucose. Pump out insulin, pump out insulin. And insulin needs an invitation to come into the muscles and to come into your liver. What happens is people, not just you, but people who are diabetic or become insulin resistant over the years, who have a large amount of body fat, their muscles are already gummed up with fat. So the insulin can't get into the muscles. Therefore, the glucose, the sugar is hanging out in the bloodstream. Sugar, because everything you eat liquefies. It turns into glucose. Everything you eat turns into glucose. So it liquefies. It can't get into your muscles, right? It can't get into your liver cells. And so guess who wants to party? Your fat cells said, come on over. We want more of you. Come on over. We want more of you. So that's the reason you need slow carbs, no sugars, nothing that looks white, could turn white or be white, right? Because when you slowly digest food, the little bit of insulin that pumps out, right? It can be utilized. And the medication, if anybody's diabetic, the medication that your physician gave you can help manage your diabetes even more. Okay. It's not in a hurry to get to the fat cells. So you're not working against yourself. So that's how saturated fat. I always wondered, why do people and diabetes and coronary artery disease and fatty liver go together? That is why the fat can't get into the liver either because it's already gummed up, right? Your heart is a muscle. Coronary artery, heart failure, right? It can't get into the muscle. So when people tell me they want to be healthy and I see them not changing their habits, I'm like, it's something deeper there. It's a little bit deeper than that. Why do I know that? Because I had a father one time, and the doctor said, if you don't stop drinking, you're going to put out the rest of your kidneys. My father went home and he chose to continue drinking. He died at 53. All right. And it's not his fault. It's not your fault either. We were conditioned that way. My father didn't know how to manage his emotions, and he needed the alcohol to help him manage his emotions. And he had drank for so long, his body actually craved it, just like your body and my body actually crave different things. And so your body and your brain is going to battle. Your body doesn't always know what's good for it. Your brain does. Your body doesn't. And so you can't go straight away to who you want to become. And here's what you have to do. You have to replace it with something else, right? So you have to replace that steak with that chicken, right? So you have to replace that sausage or whatever that fatty food is, that deli meat or whatever it is, right? That has all that saturated fat that won't go into your muscle, that hangs out in your bloodstream, right? That's how it works. That is how it works. Hangs out in your bloodstream, and you're working out really, really hard and you don't see any changes. That is what's happening. That is what's happening. So I want you not to be like me. I'm here to educate you so that you can get it right. Right? Not perfect, not perfect. I'm here to teach you so that whether you're here or somewhere else, that you can learn how to be healthier and learn the reason why your body is asking you for these things, because it loves comfort. Everybody's body, my body does too. Everybody's body wants to be comfortable. It likes what it likes. It just does. Right. And so if you want to grab a hold of those fat loss principles, they are in a video inside of this group only, right? Inside of the studio group only. I didn't put it anywhere else except in this group, right? Right here. All right. So I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow. Welcome to week 4. And if you have any questions, just simply drop them down below.